Welcome back to SimFly News. This is Roberto Capodieci, SimFly spokesperson, and I'm here to bring you the news of SimFly on a weekly basis. Let's get going because there is a lot of things to talk about this week. First is active the event double rewards. You know the flights events, there are new things in SimFly. Now this weekend, if you are flying with SimFly, your earnings are doubled. So all Saturday, all Sunday, if you fly, doesn't matter from where to where, but any mission you do, your earnings will double. So this is a special weekend. We're never gonna make the same thing again because we want to see everybody on our beautiful map. And talking about the map, you saw that the demo airplane are gone. This is something temporary. Now we are attaching the IVAO and VATSIM flights, and they will be able to deactivate them. We had an issue with the cookies. Every time you turn off your browser and you turn on your browser, cookies were deleted. So all the map settings were gone, but not anymore. So now if you set the setting of the map to be gone, like for example, no demo flight, no VATSIM flight, no eval flight, and you will see that even if you turn off your browser, start again, the map is going to be in the same condition it was before. Even if you set the weather, you set satellite, whatever it is your settings, they're gonna be remembered. So this is an important thing, and that's why we had a little bit of issue. A lot of people were complaining that every time come back the map was full of flights. They wanted to see only the SimFly ones. So bear with us, you're gonna see them again a couple of times, but if you deactivate them in the settings, it's going to stay in memory, and if it doesn't, let us know. We're gonna fix the problem. Obviously, if you have some of those settings or plugins that delete all your cookies every time you turn off your browser, then the problem is going to persist. All right, so double rewards is there, and you can join us for this extraordinary weekend event on SimFly.io, where every flight you take will earn you double rewards. Regardless of your chosen route, all pilots will receive double experience point and double PAX, enhancing both your skills and your wallet. This is a fantastic opportunity to explore a new destination or to revisit your favorite spot while maximizing your earnings. Don't miss out on this chance to soar through the skies and double your rewards. Other things, we release client version 1.1.9. I know, apologies, in the past couple of weeks we did 3 releases of clients, but this new version has a new bug report system. We're gonna see immediately when there is an issue with the details that allow us to work and fix it immediately. And on this aspect, thanks to your feedbacks, we think we solved the problem of crash on X-Plane. So if you downloaded the last version, you know, everybody should update, so we can intervene if there are problems. But people will explain that any issue, let us know if everything is working fine with the new version. So let us know if something is wrong. Then in specific for X-Plane 11, some people can get an error that give connection error. So what happened is that the default ports for communicating with the client are used by some other applications, some other plugins, something else, okay? In this case, you need to modify the port value in the INI configuration file. Okay, now it's too complicated for me to explain this to you on the video, but you should follow the guide we made in the wiki. You will find the link in the description of this video as well, in the newsletter, I guess, and also in Discord or whatever else. Now, new implementation on the map. We are slowly making the map better and better and better, okay? We changed the point of indication of airports. Before they were too heavy and big. Now they are very light, very cute, and in base of the importance and dimension of the airport, you're gonna see them are more highlighted than not. And also you can see when you select an airplane, the route that has done, and the one that is going to do if it has a destination airport set up in their settings when they start the mission, so you can see where they're going practically. Okay, we are slowly making everything, the map specifically, more advanced, and we are only at the beginning. Don't forget that many other website applications are there since many years ago. SimFly is new, okay, so we are getting things together as we can, as we get feedback from you, and we are growing slowly. So now I want to devote a little bit of time to explain to you all how the Ask Me Anything section work, okay? It is important because somebody told us we lie, somebody told us we delete questions, nothing like that. Let me explain how the Ask Me Anything section of the website work, okay? If I am inside as a user, you're gonna see that there are, first you need to log in. If you don't log in, you can only read the question, you cannot ask, okay? You have the question tab, the answers tab, a search function, and the ask a question function, okay? So first of all, when you have a question, go to the search tab and search for the question that you have. Use one specific word, terms, you can search between those already answered, only the question or both, and this allow you to find the question maybe that is already answered, so you don't need to ask it again. Then when you see question, if you see a question that resonates with you, for example, I don't know, I performed my first test pilot flight, but in my logbook I don't see the accumulated experience point, which is still 0. Yeah, I think I want to know more about this. You can vote, okay? Now it is important that you vote, and you're gonna see that here says you have voted for this question. It is important that you vote with an account that is not just being created to vote. So you need an account that is old enough and valuable enough, else we can discard the question. So we don't like people that vote for themselves, that created an account just to vote their own question. We can see this, make us laugh, it's a little bit sad, but you need to use accounts that are old, accounts that possibly had movement, that are several login already done, so real accounts, no fake accounts. So don't vote for yourself. You better get, you go in Discord, and if you see this icon here, allow you to copy the link to your question. So if somebody copies this and open it, it's gonna open the question by itself. You can go in Discord, paste the link, and ask other people, hey, I asked this question, you think it's important? If you think it's important, please go vote for it, okay? So at the same time, once the question has been answered, it's gonna end up in the answered questions, okay? The answered question have its own voting system, so pay attention that here you vote the question, so the question goes on the top of the list, so they're gonna be chosen to be replied, okay? Our question that we look at to reply to them, okay? If you go, once a question is answered, it doesn't have to be voted anymore because the question already reached the goal of being answered. So what you're gonna vote is, at this point, you vote the answer. If you think that this question, it will be possible to send a SEC directly to SimFly Bank, blah, 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 blah. This is really an answer, a question that I was looking, the answer is here, I like it. So you vote it. Once you vote it, you are voting this question to go up in the list. You see now this is the second place, because you see it's like a question that was important for you, the answer has been answered, so you want to push it up because you find the answer to be very useful. So the votes of this column are the vote for the answers. Here is the vote for the question. So once the question is answered, the question vote is gone, and we have the vote for the answer. In fact, there is the answer and there is the votes here. Question asked by this person. It can be a little bit confusing. I am okay with that if somebody thought that the votes reset, but votes don't do reset. So votes given to a question to be answered are going to push the question up. Once the question is answered, then the votes are for the answer, okay? And in fact, you can vote or remove the vote. If I access as an administrator, I'm gonna have more function. I can delete a question, answer a question, and I can also vote a question or remove my vote. For example, I voted for this question, I can remove the vote, and once I click remove a vote, removed. Yeah, you remove the vote for this question. Now, this is something that is important, okay? We do clean up the list. Now there are not so many questions, but if we go, for example, I look at questions now. Can you reveal numbers behind? Let me read more. This question has already been answered many times in the videos, has been answered many times in Discord, has been answered many times in the Ask Me Anything question. In this case, we want to give, we don't want to delete it, but we want to give an answer that doesn't have to go in the videos. So I can simply come here and enter an answer that says, for example, I can answer the question, say, hey, read the AME section, look all videos and see that your question's been answered many times already, and I submitted the answer. In this case, what happened that the question is no more between the question to be voted, okay, but it went into the answer questions, and here, if people agree, can vote the answer up. Okay, obviously it's gonna be in the bottom of the list because it's got 0 votes at the moment. Okay, questions that are being answered and are also the answer contained in a video, you can see that watch the full reply on the news update with the link, so you can link directly to the moment where we answer this question in the video. There are answers that are not being answered in the video but only being replied here and don't have the link to the video like others. Okay, there are also some questions that have nothing to do with a constructive question, for example a suggestion, but for example, take off airport, when I press start flight a message pop up, airport data not found. This is not an Ask Me Anything question. This is just letting us know that there is an issue somewhere. So when I see things like this, I'm going to delete them because they are not part of the Ask Me Anything section, okay? People that have issues, they go in their profile, there is the support, and those communication can be sent there. So, right, if you have a particular things that you're curious, you can go here and search for landing rate, for example. When you search, you're gonna see that you have all the question or answer that mention the word that you searched. In this way, if you don't see anything highlighted here, it's probably because it's in the inside of the answer. So if you do this before going and asking a question, we're gonna have more quality question. Something else that is very important, write politely, because if you don't write in a polite manner, we don't like to put this question on a YouTube video because it can be censored, etc, etc. And also usually we don't like people that is not polite. So accusation, insinuation are not very welcome. Facts, details, and constructive criticism are more than welcome. And this is how the Ask Me Anything section works. And once we have done this, we can move to the question that we need to answer. And last week there was a question, because that's another important thing we do in the Ask Me Anything section. We prepare the question, say Thursday. Sometime by the time we record Friday, the other question being voted up. Last week something happened like this. There was a very interesting question that really deserved a good answer, but we already programmed the answer that we had. So what we have done, we have answered this question directly into the AMA without putting it into the video, because we wanted to immediately give an answer. But this week we are going to respond to this question to everybody, because it's a very important question. It has been asked by Shill the 25th of November 2024, and I think he had like 6 or 7 votes. And the question is, when SimFly plan to address the scoring system for landing that is currently implemented? There are many discussions on Discord about how unrealistic it is. I don't know, we try to be more realistic as possible. Some people already give solution and how it should be done. Unfortunately, the landings are promoted with better income. I don't understand what you is asking precisely, but look like the purpose of scoring is mainly to reduce the player income. I don't understand again, because yes, many still land the way that it should be done. First of all, we hope everybody land the way that it should be done, because that's the idea of be a simmer. You land the best way that you land. I understand by all these very confusing things. Sometimes we don't. It's bad to answer to a question that is not written correctly. I don't understand what is really saying, but maybe you want an explanation, because what we understood by the confusion of the question is that what was the confusion was is the how the landing rate is calculated. Okay, so first of all, the value, the number that the landing rate has is not absolute, meaning that a landing rate of minus 300 something, if it's done with the Cessna, for example, that probably is a very bad one. If it's done with an Airbus A320, then it's very good. So there are many parameters that determine the score of a landing. It's not just a number and the points given. Is based on the value that is read. So practically we read a value from the flight simulator, and we then look at which is the airplane, how heavy is the airplane, who is the weather condition, for example, which is the load of the cargo, the packs. So there are many aspects. And now consider that SimFly are going to make it better and better and better with time. Okay, so we start with the basics one. But what is the model of the airplane, for example, how heavy it is one key one. So you need to look at all the data that have been collected related to a landing, not just the number that is there. And this is what calculate the value. So there is people that make a perfect landing with a Cessna. Okay, there is people that make a perfect landing with the Boeing 737. Probably if you look only to the number of the feet per minute that the person arrive on the ground, they are very different. But the score doesn't mean, because with a Cessna you don't have the issue that you have with the large Boeing. So a very higher speed in a Boeing is nothing, but if you do that with a Cessna, you're gonna bounce, you're gonna do a terrible landing. So this is built to evaluate many aspects and not just the number of the rate of the landing. Okay, so this is how the total is calculated, and I hope, Shield, that this clarify things. Next time you have a question, please pass it through ChatGPT to make it in a form that we understand what you're trying to say, and we're gonna be much happier to answer to you online. Now, question number 2 that is asked by Gianni Romanizio, 24th of November 2024, at 7 votes, and he asks, I noticed that the landing rate calculation maybe is not very precise. For example, I installed the landing rate monitor, LRM, in one of my computer, and that gives me a landing at minus 86, but the client is telling me it's minus 260. I think that there is a big difference between the two values. Could you take in consideration the use of the landing rate monitors? Well, there are a few issues. First of all, we get the data from the flight simulator itself. So the flight simulator makes its calculation with all the data that it has that I think are very good. We also compared the numbers that we get with 4 major systems to calculate, and we are in line with those. A system that is external to the flight simulator, unfortunately, may cause the data not to be able to be validated, because we will have no means to validate this rating. So what we do for now, and maybe we're open to discussion, is to use the information that comes from the flight simulator itself. So we get what data Microsoft Flight Simulator tell us the landing rate was, all the other information about the airplane and everything else, and we use that to calculate with our formula the scoring that the person is going to receive. We're going to see why there is such a difference between the two things, but check also for you what the flight simulator tells you compared to your LRM. Alright, I hope this answered your question, Gianni, and I'm moving to next question. Next question is being asked, again, Mr. Shill, 30 November 2024 with 6 votes. And he's asking why SimFly is planning to sell PAX for real money. This contradicts the idea of an economy that is healthy and based on the gamification of the mod, even if a little bit difficult to create incomes for a normal pilot now. But the economy in this system will be ruined if you simply go and buy token. So first of all, dear Shill, SimFly are not going to sell SimFly. Let me repeat this. SimFly is not going to sell PAX for dollars. There is no such thing. So we do not sell PAX. PAX are only earned by people that fly airplane, owner of airports, owner of airplanes, they're rented or used, and those are the only PAX that people collect, maybe also doing some events, some mission, but there is no PAX that are purchased from SimFly just in exchange of money, because that would be a problem. On the other hand, a pilot that has earned a lot of PAX can sell them to somebody else in exchange of in exchange of dollars or asset by buying something. So in this way, people can cash out the excess of PAX they have, and somebody that wants to save money can find a good offer to buy PAX under prices, say 100 PAX for $80, and then go buy an asset for that is worth 100 PAX, spending less money. So this is the whole idea, to give an economy that is not inflated with SimFly throwing out PAX like with the nonsense, but only leave it to player to decide, are you keeping your PAX to grow your career and buy better airport, buy better airplane in the future, or are you going to sell them, cash them out, and go have a pizza with your friends with money that you earn by flying your flight simulator, which is the amazing things and the revolution that SimFly brings. So to answer your question, no, SimFly are not going to sell PAX for real money, as you say. Okay. Last question is the one that we already said that we are not answering because already being explained. Is being asked by somebody we never heard from, Shill, just to give the 1st of December. He's asking simply, can you tell us how much PAX is to upgrade, etc., etc.? All this information, I'm gonna repeat it for the last time, are dynamic number. SimFly big job is to keep the economy healthy and strong. So the amount of PAX that are paid to do several things, are earned doing several things, can have a micro variation that they will be automated in order to make sure that the economy is healthy. Because if there is suddenly a dispersion of huge amount of PAX with a lot of users, SimFly is finished. If there is no PAX given to any user because the cost of SimFly is too high, SimFly is finished. The idea is that at a certain point, all the remaining assets, and there is assets that are scaling based how many users are in, are only provided user to user. So think this: a user makes packs, buy airport, buy licenses, then resell the license to other people. The new people that arrive want to start with a license that is second grade, and then an airport that is already third level, an airplane that is. All this should be what keeps SimFly alive, you know? A lot of people, there are different kind of players, people that build up value for a set, people that pay money to those other users to get a set already working well, and it should all work in a self-sustaining manner. So how much packs somebody earn for a flight, how much it costs to upgrade the level, is never gonna be exactly the same number. Those numbers are going to keep changing to make sure that there is no overflow of packs or underflow of packs. Okay, I'm gonna be the last time I say this explanation. Okay, right, this is pretty much all, and thank you for listening to me. Register to the YouTube channel, please. I want to get to 1000 subscribers as soon as possible. Do this, ask your auntie that don't care about SimFly, but she will register and as well, so we're gonna get to 1000 as soon as possible. Do this Christmas present to me, that I bring the news to you every week here in SimFly News, because and I told you this many times, SimFly, take off and get more satisfaction packs, experience points, etc., etc., etc.